Today, I will be teaching you how to make beams in JJS. For an example, so y'all know what we will be having today, it'll be looking like this mostly. It's a little bit bugged right now, so I might have to fix it midway. It won't exactly look like that since I have fun settings on. Here, I'll turn them off for you. Here's how it will actually look. But if you do want it to look better, I recommend you turn on these fun settings. So, first of all, enable free build or skill build or however you want to call it. For this example, we will be using a character block. Let's just name this one Beam. I think that's really fitting. Put the character as really whatever. And then you want to get your attack. Let's just name it Beam, because that should be easy. And then what you want to do is I recommend you get your animation first. So let's find an animation real quick. Let's just find one that looks pretty okay. So since we're going to be using a finger beam for this example, I will be using teleport, but if you want, you can use really anything else. But, yeah, I recommend you use teleport if you're making a finger beam like how I am. So you want to set up your weight trigger, and then it'll look like that mostly. Remember, if you're going to be using teleport, set the time that it ends at to 0.82, and this to start at 0.4. Then you'll put your fade out as 0.3. This basically means instead of clipping down, it'll do like that. But if you want, you can do 0.1, so it's a bit faster. Now what you want to do is get visual, a visual thing, get beam. Okay, let's go over here so you can see this a bit better. So you're wanting to, for my example, set your position to 50 and your alt position to -50. This will make it to where your beam actually will appear. And then what I did was size for 0.1, I think that would be best. And then you can put your alt size to 2 if you want. Oh wait, wrong. So I recommend your size be 0.1 and your alt size be 10. And then set it to 3. And then set it to back, in and out. And there you go, you basically already have your beam, well, your visuals. Since this starts on the right arm, instead of, before we get anywhere else. So, as you can see, it looks a bit wonky. It goes up, and on my beam, it goes fully straight, and then down a little bit. Well, that's actually because you're going to have to change your measurements. So, you're going to have to make your middle position, if I can get to it, middle position 50, and then middle position for all -50. So, as you can see, it'll look weird now. I did it wrong. First position will be 50. Alt position will be, yeah, okay, there we go. So, as you can see, it will go fully down now. That's a good thing, because whenever you use the ability, it'll make it to where the beam goes fully straight. Now, if you want it to look better, like how mine does, what you can do is add another beam, set your alt size. So for this example, let's use 19 for the alt size. And then I'll just make it to where it's fully black, so the interior of it will be black. I recommend you put a secondary color over it as well. So we'll have this set to be 19. Let's do cyan for our color, because cyan goes pretty good with black. Oh, it's still a bit hard to see. So if you want, you can also make your beam slightly, just slightly, transparent on some parts. But if you make it transparent on every part, it'll look weird. I'll show y'all how that looks. If you want to have a transparent beam, you can. No one's really stopping you. Personally, I use 0 transparency, since it works the best for me. Yes, I know I missed that other beam. Do not go in the comments and say something. Oh, do not go. My accent. Do not go into the comments and say something about it. But from here, you basically already have your beam. You can really do whatever with this. You can make it into an Iron Man beam if you want. Fucking repulsor shot or something, I don't know. But basically, just keep messing with the size and everything until you get what you want. Oh, wait, I figured out our issue here. There we go. So what I recommend you do is have your first beam set to white, have it at the, like, your maximum size that you're wanting your beam to be, have your second color set to cyan and have it one under the maximum size, and have your third color as black, so it'll look like this. Now, if you want, you can just continue it on however the hell long you want. So that's what I will be doing currently. Continuing it on to 0. Also, if you set it directly to 0, it won't look like anything. As you can see, though, we have a pretty good cyan beam now. It does not look exactly like my beam, but that's because I wanted mine to be black in the center. Anyways, as you can see with my beam, it'll actually go through objects and actually deal damage. With this beam, will not. This is because you have to set up a hitbox. So for our hitbox, what we will do is let's do 10 damage. For my debris, I did 2. So since this beam goes about 50, you want to set your size number to 50, and you want to set your position to be 25. This is because, here you go, so you can actually see that. I know this is a common misconception. A lot of people get this confused. Higher debris does not mean that you'll have more debris. It'll make it to where there's bigger chunks. So if you want a very low debris, you can do 1. Personally, I use 2 though, so it's not as laggy and still looks good. I like to have full support for everyone who plays movesets. You can also set it from blockable, this stuff, whatever you want. But as you can see, you only have 1 beam, and I have 3. And your beam does not make your screen shake. So what you'll do is go back to visual, set it specifically over your animation. If you set it under your animation, it'll just stop your animation. I recommend you use either shake light or shake medium. We'll be using shake medium though. Since this attack will be lasting for that amount of seconds, 0.3 seconds, I'll set this to 0.2. 0.1 and 0.2 can work the exact same, but now what you want to do is count. So I'll be counting all the notes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we'll set loop back to 15, and let's set loop amount to 2. As you can see, it'll shoot off way more. Though the issue is the higher the time, it'll make it to where, for some reason, it goes to the side. I preferred mine to go down instead of to the side, so I set mine to 0.1. Though sometimes it'll still go to the side. I don't really understand the reason for that. But also something else that I'll show is my beam lets me stay in the air whenever I use it. How you're going to do this is you want to get a velocity trigger. You want to go set the middle value to 0.1, set the time to 0.3, since it'll be on this part. Well, also set it to that, but then you want to copy it to this, And then you want to go back to your loop and set this to the loop back to 16. So now whenever you use it, you'll be able to hang in the air temporarily. Something else that you could do for, like, just as optional is make it to where you get a look node, and then you can just drag it all the way up to here, set the smoothness to whatever the hell, 200 is the highest, and then you can set your loop back to 17, so it'll look like this now. You'll be able to actually use every beam individually, instead of just having to use it in one big beam. Well, that's really our tutorial today. Making beams is not really that hard. If you want, you can go back through and put in some extra visual things, but other than that, there's not that much of anything else. And here, we'll actually test it. So, as you can see, we have our moveset, and we have our beam now. Feel free to do whatever you want with it. Just go around and shoot things with it if you want. So here, we can go test it on the dummy real quick, just to get y'all to see how it will actually work whenever you use this ability. My friend joined. But anyways, that's the video for today. You're welcome for teaching you how to make beams in this game. That's all. I will be releasing another